Have you ever wondered why some people recite Quran so beautifully and correctly? It is not only because of their beautiful voice, it's because they understand and apply all the rules of tajweed. And one of the most important tajweed rule is noon sakin and tanween, which we will learn in today's lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our Tajweed learning series where we learn the rules of Quranic recitation in a simple and practical way. This is lecture 4 and today we will learn a very important topic which will be about Noon Sakin and Tanween. In this lesson we will understand three important things. The first one is what Noon Sakin and Tanween are, the four rules that apply to them, and we will practice real examples from the Quran. So let's begin with the basis. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما رب زدني علما رب زدني علما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Today is our fourth lecture of Tajweed, Noon Sakin and Tanween. Before starting the lecture, we will learn the basics of Noon Sakin and Tanween. First we need to understand that what Noon Sakin is. The definition of Noon Sakin. Noon Sakin means a noon letter that has Sakun on it, which means it has no vowel sound. As present here, the letter Noon, and you can see that this letter Noon has Sakun on it. So the Noon is pronounced without any vowel. The second part is Tanween. Tanween are the double vowel signs that appear at the end of the word, and that vowel signs are double fatha, double kasra and double duma. These signs create a noon sound at the end of the word. Even though the letter noon is non-written, the sound of the noon is produced. Even though the letter noon is not written, the sound of noon is produced. How? I will give you a little example of the word alimun. When meme followed the double duma, like meme double duma mun, at the end of the meme, when we pronounce it with duma, the noon sound is appear. Alimun. Okay? Now, here is the main rule. Whenever Noon Sakin or Tanween appears in a word, we must look at the next letter. Depending on the next letter, one of the four Tajweed rules will apply. The first one is izhar, which means clear sound. The second one is idgham, which means merging. The third one is ikhfa, which means hide with nose, the sound which hide in the nose. And the fourth is iqlab, which means change noon into meme. Now let's understand each rule one by one. The first rule is izhar. Izhar means clear pronunciation, and in this rule the noon sound is pronounced clearly without any nasal sound. And izhar happens when noon sakin or tanween comes before these 6 letters which are known as throat letters. Okay, I repeat that izhar happens when noon sakin or tanween comes before these 6 letters hamza ha, ain ha and ghain kha. With the given examples we will understand it. The first example is min hawlihim, min hawlihim. Here you can see that there is a noon sakin, and in the next there is a third letter ha. When this letter ha, which is the part of third letter, comes here, we can pronounce this like min hawlihim, min hawlihim. Here the noon sound is very clear. Okay, move to the second example, which is an'amta, an'amta. Here you can see that ain, the letter ain is the part of throat letters, so because of this we can pronounce this word an'amta. Here we have to pronounce the noon sound very clearly without taking it from nose, because I already told you that when noon sakin or tanween comes before throat letters, izhar happens. Okay, now move to the third example, which is min ghairi. Here the letter ghain, this letter ghain is the part of throat letter, so because of this we have to pronounce this word like min hawlihim, clear voice of noon, min ghairi. Okay, now move to the fourth example, which is alimun hakim. Here the letter ha is the part of throat letters, and here is the tanween. Okay, so it is pronounced like alimun. Clear noon sound is producing here at this part, alimun hakim. I am sure that you understand all these 4 examples and the first part, which is about izhar. Now move to the second part, the second rule, which is about idgham. Idgham means to merge one letter into the next letter. Very simply, you have to know that idgham means to merge one letter into the next letter. This happens when noon sakin or tanween comes before these given letters, which are known as letters yarmalun. But these letters are known as yarmalun. So you can learn these 6 letters like yarmalun. When you remember this word, which is yarmalun, you can easily learn these 6 letters with the help of only this one word. Okay, so with the given examples we will know that what is idgham. The first example is may yaqulu, may yaqulu. Here in this word the noon merge with ya, the noon merge with ya, and what type of sound is pronounced? May yaqulu, may yaqulu. You can feel the sound is going into your nose. The second example is mimma. Here the noon is merging with the mim, and how we can pronounce this? Mimma, mimma. The third example is lahabim. lahabim. Here in the third example, the tanween is merging with the letter waw and giving the sound lahabim. Here double kasra is present below the ba, and this tanween making the connection with the letter waw. So how can we pronounce this letter? Lahabim watab. Okay, now move to the fourth example, which is Ghafurur Rahim. Very clearly you can see that here the tanween, which is double duma, merging with the next letter, which is ra, and giving the sound Ghafurur Rahim. Ghafurur Rahim. So in idgham the noon does not remain separate. Okay, in the idgham the noon does not remain separate, but in our first part, which is about izhar, here the noon is clearly mentioned and we have to pronounce it with their original sound, so the noon will be clear. But in the second part, which is idgham, here the noon is not remain separate. In this we merge one letter into the other. Now move to the third part, the third rule, which is ikhfa. Ikhfa means to hide. In this rule, the noon sound is completely clear and not merged. Okay? Instead, it is pronounced with the light nasal sound through the nose. This is also known as gunna. In our previous lecture, we learned about gunna, and I am sure that you learned the previous lecture, so it will be very easy for you to learn this rule, which is known as ikhfa. So let's move and practice with the given examples. The first example is antum, antum. You can feel that the noon sound, when the hamza make the connection with the noon, it will give the sound which goes into our nose. You can feel it like antum, antum. Okay. The second example is min qablu, min qablu. You can feel when the meme make a connection with the noon, the sound goes in your nose. Min qablu, min qablu. The fourth example is kuntum, kuntum. You have to feel when you put your finger on your nose and pronounce this letter like kuntum. During the pronunciation of this word, you can feel the sound is going into your nose. Kuntum. The fourth example is sabrun. Here the ra is followed by the tanween, which is double duma. Okay, so you can pronounce it like sabrun, sabrun. When we pronounce the tanween, the noon sound will pronounced and it will go in our nose. But when it will happen and on which letters we have to perform ikhfa other than these letters which we learned here in the first part, which is about izhar, and here we learn the 6 letters which are known as throat letters, and in the second rule, which is known as idgham, here we learn the letters yarmalun, which are also 6. So 6 letters of throat and 6 letters of yarmalun. Other than these letters, all other 15 letters can perform this rule, which is known as ikhfa. Understand? I repeat, other than letters Yarmaloon and throat letters, all other 15 letters will perform the third rule, which is known as ikhfa. Now move to the fourth rule of Nun Sakin and Tanween, which is iqlab. Iqlab means to change. When Nun Sakin or Tanween comes before the letter Ba. I repeat, when Nun Sakin or Tanween comes before the letter Ba, this rule, which is known as Iqlab, will implement on that word. Here, with the first example, Mim Ba'di, here you can see that Ba is present and we can pronounce this letter like Mim Ba'di, Mim Ba'di. The Noon sound change into the Mim sound. Mim Ba'di. Sometimes on this letter before Ba, here a little Mim is mentioned. Okay, sometimes here a little Mim is mentioned on the top of the word which is coming before the letter Ba. So we have to pronounce this letter like Mim Ba'di. And remember that here in Iqlab we have to change the Noon sound into Mim sound. With the second example, we can clear it like Sami'um Basir. Here the Tanween, which is double Duma on the Ain, we can change this Noon sound into Mim. How? Sami'um Basir. In some words we can say Sami'un. When we say Sami'un, it will pronounce the Noon sound and the Noon sound will very clear when we say Sami'un. But here, when the Ba is coming after this letter, we can pronounce this word as Sami'um Basir, changing the Noon sound into the Mim sound. So, the third example is Ambihum. Here you can see that Ambihum, Ambihum. Here the Mim sound is also pronounced very clearly because of the letter Ba. As we learned that when Noon Sakin or Tanween comes before the letter Ba, we have to change the Noon sound into the Mim sound. Okay? The last example of fourth rule is La yumbazanna, La yumbazanna. Here you can see that here is the Ba and here is the Noon, and we have to pronounce it like La yumbazanna, La yumbazanna. Again the Noon sound changes into the Mim sound. Okay? If you have any query, you can freely ask in the comment section, and inshallah we will clear and we will make another video according to your queries, and inshallah all your queries will be clear. Here is the summary of this lecture, which is about Noon Sakin and Tanween, and we revise our whole lecture with the help of this table. So let's start. Firstly, we learn the first rule of Izhar, which means clear. And in this rule, Izhar happens when Noon Sakin or Tanween comes before these letters, which are known as throat letter. So the Noon sound will pronounced clearly. I will give you an example of the word min hawlihim. Here the mim is followed by noon, and when we make the connection of meme with noon, we have to pronounce it like min hawlihim. Here the sound of noon is clear because we know that when noon sakin or tanween comes before the throat letters, the noon sound will clearly pronounced. The second rule is about idgham, and idgham means to merge, and this happens when noon sakin or tanween comes before these given letters which are known as yarmaloon. And in this rule we learn how to merge one letter into the other letter with very common examples from the Quran. The first example is may yaqulu. Here we merge the noon into the ya. So in the third rule, which is about ikhfa, which is also known as ghunna, and the remaining 15 letters other than that of throat letters and letters yarmaloon, all these 15 letters will perform this rule which is known as ikhfa, and it will pronounced and produced a nasal sound when we pronounce any of the letter which is performing this third rule, ikhfa. The first example which I mentioned in the lecture is antum. Antum. Here the hamza is making a connection with the noon, and the sound is going into your nose, so we can pronounce it like antum. Okay. The fourth and the last rule of today's lecture is iqlab. Iqlab means to change. To change what? To change the noon sound into meme sound, and it will happen when noon sakin or tanween comes before the letter ba. Okay, I repeat that when noon sakin or tanween comes before the letter ba, we can change the noon sound into meme sound. Okay, with very easy examples we learned that how to implement the iqlab. So the first examples mentioned in this lecture is mim ba'di. Mim ba'di. Here the noon change into meme. So same like this, sami'um basir. Sami'um basir. Again the tanween becomes meme sound. So finally today we learned the four rules of noon sakin and tanween: izhar, idgham, ikhfa, and iqlab. When we apply these rules correctly, our Quranic recitation become more accurate, clear, and beautiful. I am sure that today's lecture is very helpful for you, and inshallah with the help of this rule which we learned today about noon sakin and tanween, your recitation become more accurate day by day. And if you have any of the question about this lecture, you can freely ask in the comment section, and if you want to take personal classes, you can contact us on our given information via email or WhatsApp. Inshallah, we will meet in our next lecture which will be about meme sakin. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.